LJN, the toy company known for its bright, colorful rainbow, made action figures and video games that kids loved to play with in the 80s. The company was founded in 1970 by Jack Fryman. Jack was born in 1939 in Queens, New York, and raised by his mother. He began his career as a sales representative for toy company Norman J. Lewis in the 60s, selling plush and novelty toys to stores along the East Coast. After selling toys at Norman J. Lewis, Jack wanted to start his own toy company. With financial backing from his employer, Jack started the LJN Toy Company. Unlike a lot of toy companies in the 70s, Jack knew that the rights to popular movies and television shows was the way to go. In the 70s, LJN picked up toy rights to such TV hits as The Rookies, Emergency, SWAT, and a line of die-cast cars called Road Stars that would bear the names of some of the hottest properties in the 70s, like Spider-Man, The Flintstones, The Waltons, Space 1999, Hogan's Heroes, and more. In the 1980s, LJN would pick up even better titles with movie tie-in toys, from huge hits like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom to E.T. Also around this time, they would pick up the rights to celebrities for a successful doll line, with dolls based on Brooke Shields and Michael Jackson. The business decision to make toys based on TV and movie helped the company reach $51 million in sales in 1983. It also got the attention of MCA, a parent company of Universal Studios. MCA was in a buying frenzy in the early 80s as they wanted to branch out from the music industry. In 1981, they bought shares in USA Network and would later end up owning 50% of it, along with Paramount owning the other half. In 1982, they picked up Filmways, who owned the rights to some of the biggest television shows in the 60s, like Mr. Ed, Beverly Hillbillies, Addams Family, Green Acres, and a lot more. In 1983, they would pick up Walter Lantz Productions. They owned some of the most classic cartoons, such as Woody Woodpecker, Andy Panda, and Chilly Willy. In 1985, they came knocking on the door of LJN looking to buy the toy company. Jack met with MCA, and they reached a deal to give MCA 63% of interest in the LJN Toy Company. MCA wanted Jack to move to Los Angeles, California to oversee the company on the West Coast. Jack, who was a big movie fan, always had a dream of producing Hollywood films, and saw this as a great opportunity to break into the film business. 2 years after the partnership with MCA, the founder of the company, Jack Fryman, stepped down and followed his other goals. Jack would go on to open 2 more toy companies, THQ in 1990 and Jack Pacific in 1995, a company that's still strong in the toy market today. A few months later, MCA would sell their part of LJN to Acclaim Entertainment. In its first year of making video games along with toys, LJN saw success with games like The Karate Kid and Gotcha. But also in 1987, they saw a line of plastic toys come under fire from police groups and parents. Intertech, LJN's line of realistic guns, was coming under fire as some of the guns were used in robberies, and some kids had been killed when cops mistaken these lifelike guns as real ones. In late 1987, LJN started to add a bright orange tip to the guns, but the damage was already done. Acclaim wanted to move on from the toy gun controversy, and even move on from the toy market, and refocus LJN as a video game maker rather than a toy maker. In 1990, it would sell its Intertech gun line and most of its other non-video game toy brands. And then in 1985, Acclaim decided to close down AGM and just make video games under their Acclaim name, ending a 52-year-old company overnight. In 2004, Acclaim would file Chapter 7 bankruptcy, ending their 37 years in the business of selling video games. Today, the LJN name and rainbow is mostly thought of as a video game company, but its time in the action figure market isn't one to be forgotten, as it produced some really great action figures in the 80s. Well, that's a look at the rise and fall of toy company LJN. Hope you enjoyed this video. As always, thumb up so you like my content, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk again soon.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.